What's up, War Rapport family? I am your host, C-Dub. Demarcus Riddick flips from Georgia to Auburn. And in today's show, we want to know how you guys are feeling about it. Let's get to it. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We are all here. Welcome to the latest Mid-Week Rapport, courtesy of show sponsor auburnsports.com. Guys, please head over there and show them support as they've been our day ones for the longest of time. Shout outs to JT Tate and those guys over at auburnsports.com. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I'm pretty sure many of you are excited to get in here as you're commenting heavily. Do us a favor and share this video. Share it on social media, smash that like button, and subscribe to those of you who are new to the channel. Get you a green name. Get access to our content. Ike Jones can tell you how you do that.
It's really easy. The join button is right there for you. Click it. And when you do that, you are welcomed into the family that is the greatest Auburn family that ever existed. In the existence of Auburn families, this is the best one. The War Rapport Green Name Gang. Go ahead and make that happen for yourself. If you are a member and you want to let someone else in on the fun, you can gift a membership right now from the live chat. Make sure that you do that before we get out of here, and they'll get a free month of membership on you. You want a War Rapport t-shirt? It's very simple. Hashtag get your weight up right now in the live chat, and somebody's going to walk away with a free one courtesy of War Eagle Oil today. I do that sometimes. War Eagle Oil sponsoring today's giveaway. WarEagleOil.com is the place you go for all of your motor oil and related products. But hashtag get your weight up, and we'll be giving that jaunt away here in around the hour mark. You still got to be present to win it, though. So don't just drop your hashtag and dip. But you don't want to leave because we're talking about Demarcus Riddick.
Guys, definitely want to, even though it's July, Merry Flipmas to each and every one of you guys. Yeah. Auburn, this is a big one. This is a pretty big deal. I know this isn't I know he hasn't signed, right, Ike? He hasn't signed.
Has not signed.
It only counts when it's not for Auburn. When they flip to Auburn, it's final. Flipping the other way,
we can definitely talk about that for sure. Let's go ahead and get into it. Look at some stats. So you guys know who the biggest talk of the town has been. It's been this guy right here, Demarcus Riddick. Obviously, he flipped from Georgia, was committed back in the fall of last year. 6'3", 206 pounds, of Chilton County High School in Clanton, Alabama. 4-star, composite 5-star, Rivals 100 linebacker, the highest ranked kid or highest rated kid that Hugh Freeze and staff has pulled in. You recall previously one of the biggest names that Auburn was able to pull in was the kid out of the Tuskegee area, Joseph Phillips. Demarcus Riddick becomes the biggest recruit. Obviously, once Hugh Freeze and staff came on board, they began recruiting this kid, and there was talks about him flipping from Georgia, but of course, Bama was in on it as well. And at one point in the spring, it looked like he was Bama's to lose. I think there was talks of him showing up to Alabama's A-Day, riding in Nick Saban's Mercedes, riding shotgun with him. He got the full-on treatment, and it just looked like Bama was in the driver's seat. But as the summer came on and it got hot, so did Auburn in terms of their recruitment with this kid. And he now comes into the fold. Thoughts, gentlemen? I will start with you. I'll start with you, B. How you feel?
I'm a little excited. I'm trying not to get too
I can
excited.
tell. I can tell.
I'm just a little bit excited.
Mm.
It's July. All right. Like Mike just said, we saw Cam Coleman commit to Texas A&M. You know, and the idea was, all right, but he knows where home is. Listen, 2 of the best 3 recruiting programs in the nation, Georgia and Alabama, the third being Ohio State, are here where we recruit. They are in our footprint. One of them had already gained his commitment. The other was trying to pull it away from the first one, and we got in here. I am not celebrating having a guy committed with 2 football giants in our backyard trying to look into our blinds. I am not. Pen to paper. With that being said, though, I think this is a sign that Josh Aldridge is a plus recruiter for his position group, the same way that Cadillac is for his, the same way that Zach Etheridge is for his. I think we're looking at that situation. Even through the dog years of both Harsin years and the late Gus years, the secondary didn't waver because we had Crime Dog, another good recruiter. We had Cadillac, a great recruiter. Those positions didn't falter over the last 3 years as far as talent goes. They did not falter. And now we are seeing somebody comes in. Again, Ike and I talked about this on the morning drop yesterday. The linebackers that we had committed, or this may have been Monday, this was Monday. The linebackers that we had committed, the linebacker coach. Ike asked me, how do you feel about the linebackers coming into the season? I said 7 out of 10. But if we had the same linebacking coach as last year, even with the same players, it would be 5 out of 10. I think Josh Aldridge is a plus recruiter, a plus linebacker coach. It's much easier to recruit elite and to beat some of the premier recruiting programs when you have a star coach, mind, and player developer as the position coach in that position. We now have that with linebacker. We had it with Travis Williams. We were able to get talent with Travis, right? We now have it again. And it's looking like the defense, at the very least, will be formidable year 2. We know we've had linebacker woes. We've had linebacker gaps. Looks like we're shoring that up. It looks like we're shoring that up. I think this says more to me about who Josh Aldridge is and his value than it does the general direction of the program. We could have landed any one of the guys we thought we were going to get the last few months that we didn't get. Would those have been the first domino and everybody been excited? Sure. I want the guys who really want to be here. You look at the reaction from him, from his family. I see a lot of the guys who are recruiting to Auburn right now, they get in the driver's seat for recruiting and for celebrating and for being a part of the family quickly. I don't want that guy that he commits, but you have to convince him to stay. And then you don't hear he's not celebrating Auburn when somebody else signs. He's not saying welcome to other players that commit. Getting in, getting active, and the parents and the family buying in, that's a type of recruitment. I think that's Hugh Freeze's effect. I think that's the Hugh Freeze effect. But the fact that we had his attention at linebacker, that's the Josh Aldridge effect. And I think we're on the way up. I'm still pausing on the excitement, though. Let's hold off. Pen to paper, please. Pen to paper.
There hasn't been this much excitement around recruiting at Auburn in quite some time. Again, we know Auburn has to close the deal in December with these kids, but talk about what Hugh Freeze and his staff has done just in terms of recruitment, just being an exciting thing to look forward to. A year ago this time, there was a lot of panic among Auburn fans in terms of recruiting. This year, we're very jubilant. Just talk about the 180 Hugh Freeze and his staff has done in terms of their approach to recruiting and the payoff from it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a market difference between kind of the enthusiasm that people have around just even the prospects of landing somebody like a Demarcus Riddick. I don't know that last year before, maybe even the year before that, people would see that name come across and think to themselves, we've got a legitimate shot. Like no matter top, whatever, top 5, top 10, they just, nobody's thinking we have a legit shot. I think when Phillips announced he was coming, people started to believe a little bit. They were like, oh, wait a minute. Because here's the thing. There's a thing out there of like, yeah, you're landing guys, but are you landing guys that these other teams want, or are you getting the leftovers? And for years, we got the leftovers of the 4 and the 5 stars. It wasn't guys that these other teams legitimately were in contention for, and they wanted to be a part of their recruit class. I don't think that you can say that about the guys that we're getting right now, as far as their commitments. I think these are people who these other schools legitimately wanted. They legitimately felt as if they had in the bag, it was going to happen. And it's not going down that way right now. And the excitement from the fan base is warranted in regard to that, because you just haven't had this type of excitement. I get people, hate the jubilation that Auburn fans have around this sort of thing. And they're, I saw the jokes about we're going to roll Toomer's corner if he commits to us, all this kind of stuff. Hey, listen, man, you can be upset at us being happy all you want to. That is not going to stop everybody from being happy. Your jokes about my happiness just make me want to be happier in your face. So please continue to joke. I will continue to be happy, and I'll laugh at your misery, because you kind of have to be a miserable person to be upset at somebody else being happy. Like what is wrong with you? Your soul needs some cleansing. Get yourself together. It's okay.
My G, thoughts on this big pickup before we get to some of the comments?
Well, I do not echo the whole save your happiness about this. Recruiting has changed. December, early signing day, has changed the timeline. When kids commit and they flip, now what is considered late in the process. July is considered late in the process now. They've got to go a season to go play. He's trying to get this out of the way so he can focus on high school football, his last year of high school football. And if you want to get into fall camp, you can't be flipping. I mean, I don't see a bunch of kids flipping back and forth during the season, right? They literally have to sign their commitment almost just after classes end for high school, going into Christmas break. This is a huge flip. Everybody should be excited and celebrating this right now. The only way this kid doesn't come to Auburn is if they blow it somehow. I don't see him changing his mind. Now, I said the same thing. A lot of fans got on me. I don't think it's over with Cam Coleman. No, it's over. It's going to Texas A&M. It's over. I said I've been on that. I was like, no, I have no hope that he's flipping. I think he's going to go down there and he's going to try it, and he's going to work for him, or it's not. But I spoke to him and he felt pretty resolute. This is where kids are at now. They understand they got to get this out of the way. They got to get prepared for their next step. And, and when you had to wait until February to sign the papers, it was different. You take those 3 months away from them, and family and everybody else is going to be in their ear about holding to your commitment and making sure that you're going where you say you're going. This is it, man. Hugh Freeze. This is why Hugh Freeze got hired. Everyone who complained about Brian Harsin and, they were like, oh, yeah, he don't recruit. He's allergic to recruiting. He didn't know what a telephone is. Well, get excited about this, because for 2 years, we weren't even in the running for guys like Riddick.
Yeah.
So he gets him to choose Auburn over Bama and Georgia. Hell yeah. Get crunked up. Let's go. This is why you hired him.
Boy, he just dated himself.
This is get crunked up. You know that? Get crunked
Last
up.
time I heard
Get
that
crunked
phrase.
I can't hear that statement without hearing that song.
Get crunked up. Get crunked up. Right.
Everybody under 28 just turned us off.
Yeah, they was
Oh,
like,
dog.
well, I
I've heard my granddad say crunk before.
Yeah. Well, your granddaddy was a super cool cat. So, here's the deal.
Another dated reference.
I ain't y'all all the oldies.
And you jive turkeys better recognize.
Oh Lord. Oh man.
No, I mean, listen, this is something to celebrate. Again, this is the number one reason. Think about things Hugh Freeze has said, guys. He said, if we're not in the top 7 in recruiting by year 3, everybody here is going to be looking for a job. Everybody. Everybody's out the door. So what does he do in year 1? He's going out. I think he's like a composite 5-star on 247.
Yeah.
But a consensus 4-star on all the recruiting services.
Right.
He's a top 50 player nationally. Top 50. He's a number 5 player in the state. Listen, he's top 50 nationally, and he's the number 5 player in the state. There are 4 dudes in the state rated higher than Riddick. Hugh Freeze has to get his fair share of these guys. So, yeah, you should be celebrating because Clemson, Georgia, Bama has been rated in the backyard for talent. Texas A&M came in and got Coleman. Come on, man. Central is right up the street. You could get an Uber Eats from Auburn to Central. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
It's a
They're
long
gonna be
trip.
cold when they get there, but they got bags for that. I'm just saying.
Why are my fries so cold?
They're in the running. They are in the running. This is something to be celebrated. This is why Hugh Freeze got hired. Auburn has to get used to winning. And you got to get used to winning. Enjoy this feeling. Because if Hugh Freeze is going to be successful at Auburn, this feeling should start to become normal. Yeah, we expected him to get we expected him to get somebody that nobody expected us to get. Georgia can no longer come into our house. You cannot just cross the state line, sir, and go back over without a car search.
Oh, well.
I'm sorry, Kirby. This is a dry county. We're going to have to confiscate that. True story in some places in Alabama. So it's going to be, I'm looking forward to most of this. And I can't help but wonder, guys, if Riddick's commitment starts a domino of good players wanting to play with other good players.
More on that
I'm
later.
just saying, right? So, I mean, that's where I'm at on this. I think this is great. And there was some speculation that he was going to Big Cat, but he had a commitment date set before Big Cat, and it was like, this could be the biggest okie doke in the history of recruiting, though. Would he schedule Big Cat and then commit to Bama or Georgia? Would he do it? We didn't know. Now we know. Hugh Freeze's pimp game is strong.
All right, now you're doing it on purpose now, right?
Bad.
You're doing it on purpose now.
That's it. It's time. It's time to take the reins. It's time to take control. Recruiting has to be.
Let's keep Pimp and Hugh Freeze like out of the same sentence.
Fair enough.
Oh,
But
yeah.
all I'm saying is,
Please, just,
if he is
Too
going
soon.
to flip the narrative, it has to start with recruiting. We know this. It has to start with recruiting. They got on Harsin for this. They said you're not going to outdevelop Nick Saban and Kirby Smart. Well, he gets it. He went to media days and he made this statement. He asked for patience and said, we got to get the guys in the door. Hopefully they give me enough time to do that. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he said. Right? Like, give us some time to get some dudes, and we're going to build this thing into a winner because the top of the conference, yeah, I get it. We're chasing them. They're good. Bama and Georgia are good. Give me some guys and I can be good too. Give me Demarcus Riddick. Now let's go. Get the Land Tiger defense, whatever you want to call this new version of whatever.
No, let Ole Miss have that. This is just Auburn defense. That's been really great for us in the past. Auburn defense has been great. Let's just play.
I like Jack Boys, man. I like Jack Boys.
Jack Boys cool.
I like Jack Boys.
All right. Hey, listen. Get the Jack Boys. Let's get going. It's time. Demarcus Riddick. Love it. Great pickup.
Listen, let's hear from you guys because y'all have been commenting up a storm. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. We'll try to get to as many posts as we can. Actually, before we do that, we're going to get a little fresh. We're going to talk about our new sponsor, HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
Hey,
Yes,
talk about it, Ike.
HelloFresh coming on board with the War Rapport. You guys can hit them up at HelloFresh.com/rapport50. Get 50% off of your purchase plus free shipping on that first order. Take a bite out of the summer with HelloFresh, from the chef-curated seasonal recipes to their new fresh and fit summer menu. HelloFresh brings flavor right to your door. Pre-portioned ingredients help cut down the food waste, while step-by-step instructions make cooking a breeze. Go to HelloFresh.com/Rapport50 and use code Rapport50 for 50% off plus free shipping. And, make sure y'all hit them up. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit is HelloFresh.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Ike.
That's some really good food, actually. HelloFresh is insanely good. So if you have it, we are on a mission. You guys are going to start to see some more sponsors pop up on the War Rapport slate.
Yeah,
so we've said it before. Support us by supporting our sponsors. We want HelloFresh to stay around. If you have been thinking about doing something like this, use that code and get yourself a meal from HelloFresh.
The food is actually pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. My wife and I have used it. You should do it too. If you're running out of ideas, you don't want to eat out or whatever, you want to cook something at the home, be a little bit more healthier.
I wish they would send a chef too to cook.
Yeah, right.
That'd be that.
There's 400 people on this live. If a fourth of y'all order one thing from HelloFresh, they will stick around as a sponsor till the end of the season. Amazing, right? One order from a fourth of the people on this live, and you get to eat, right? So help us out there. Yeah. We got some other sponsors you definitely gonna want to get some stuff from, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Listen, I mentioned some. I'm gonna grab some of the super chats before we talk about the current commits as currently constructed here. Oda Smith, good to have you here. He says Perry pledges Sunday. Poe and Coleman come National Signing Day. War Eagle, so he's optimistic about Coleman still coming, as well as Poe, the offensive lineman who committed to Alabama recently.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know.
I'm withholding my excitement.
I think they do flip someone. I'm not sure if it's these two guys, but I do think that, again, just like they did last signing day, they flipped some surprises. So I expect them to do much more of the same. Auburn Dad for Life. Appreciate the $5 super chat. First off, thank you, God, for Demarcus Riddick, the War Rapport, and AU family. By the way, first domino is falling. So Auburn Dad is already calling it a sign of things to come. MH06 just became a member.
Hey,
welcome to the family.
Welcome.
Drake Barefoot, appreciate the $20 super chat. Coach Hugh Freeze has done more for the program before coaching his first game than the last guy did the whole time he was here.
Oh, you know what? I disagree, because Brian Harsin being terrible got us Hugh Freeze. So thank you, Brian Harsin. Thank you.
Okay.
Mike and I were talking about this earlier today.
Okay.
And listen, the downfall of Coach Harsin, what we said that basically there are three things that a coach needs to be able to do to buy himself time, right? Like, you have to be good really at all three, but two of the three is really what allows you time to get around to one of the other ones.
Right.
First and foremost, winning, right? Like winning football games. If you can win, regardless of how you do the other two things, it buys you more time to get better at these next two.
Right.
Yep.
The second portion of it is recruiting. If you can recruit well, it buys you time if you're not winning games, right? You're not winning games, but you're getting good recruits. People start to believe in the future. Eventually you got to win, but it buys you more time. The third one is endearing yourself to the community and getting in and making good relationships with the people who kind of matter for whatever that place is that you're working, right? Brian Harsin didn't do any of the three, man.
Yeah.
He went 0 for 3 on that. And that's why his tenure was only 2 years, because he didn't endear himself to the fan base or the community.
Right.
He didn't go out there and recruit his butt off, and he wasn't winning games.
And the first one would have bought him a ton of time.
Right. If you do one of the three, you get at least one more year.
You get yourself a year. Absolutely.
He'd have gotten to year 3 if he had just gotten one of them. If he did 2 of them, he probably would have bought himself 2 years of grace. But the one that was the most important that he never did was the endearing himself to the community, and fan base. Because then it's like, yeah, he's not winning, but he's a nice guy. Give him some time to figure it out.
Right.
You know, when we talk to sponsors, as you guys see local sponsors come on, one of the main reasons they love to partner with us is the community aspect. That's what Auburn is. We share a lot of stories about, you know, being in the Auburn community, what the Auburn community is to us, how the Auburn community was the start of this show. If you don't understand it and you don't embrace that culture, it will reject you.
Yeah.
Quickly. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
It did not really understand the importance of community and going out into the community and making inroads in the community. And so when times got hard on the football field, them pillars that hold your job house up, there was nothing.
Right.
Like he said, you know, you weren't winning. There was one pillar. Nobody likes you. There was another pillar.
Nobody likes you.
They didn't want to hire you in the first place.
Yeah.
Come on, man. There was nothing. He had no happiness pillars. At the end of the day.
I think that should have made you be even more endearing to the fan base, knowing that people were like, "Who?
Believe me, right?
Yeah.
I can be a good coach." That's where he should have been at. I would have been.
Love that
Dave
Dave Chappelle
reference. So, anyway, yeah, love that comment.
Listen, we're looking at the 2024 commits. Obviously, number one, Demarcus Riddick, Jalen Crawford, the most recent one, Malik Blockton, D'Angelo Barber, Joseph Phillips. Obviously, this has to be the most impressive pool. I mean, it seems like Walker White was, I mean, it kind of was, but it was such a long time ago when we beat Clemson for Walker White's commitment. And that it'd be we've had more impressive commitments ever since then. Not to downplay Walker White, because that is a very impressive pickup.
Mm-hmm.
You need a QB for your class that's going to be the future. But it just seems like each commitment gets more impressive because of who you're beating him for. This class is currently ranked 35th nationally, 11th in the conference, according to Rivals. Obviously, Auburn is averaging 3.8 stars per commitment, which is amongst the tops in the nation for that. Obviously, because they have 12 commitments, they're ranked lower. But with the people who are still on Auburn's board who are undecided, Auburn is really looking at a legit top 15, top 10 class. I know we talked about 10. Top 15 may be disappointing. But when you consider who Auburn will or could potentially get, it's impressive to be top 15, I would think. But your thoughts, guys, on kind of where Auburn stands. I mean, and again, keep in mind they're playing catch up with the 2024 recruiting cycle.
Well, look at it this way. They may be, I think they moved up to 27th overall in the national recruitings, somewhere bordering the top 25, depending on which service you're looking at.
I think 247, I think got them.
Yeah. But if you look at the average composite ranking, they're 6th in the country. So if they fill out this class at plus 20 recruits, I think you're going to have a top 10 class. Get 22 recruits in. There are going to be some 3 stars mixed in there, but one more big flip and some 4 stars and some 3 stars in there. And this is a top 10 class. They only got 12 recruits on the board.
Yeah.
That's it. Right? I mean, think about it this way. There are teams ranked under Auburn, like, Miami has got the 16th ranked class or something like that, right? And they have 18 commits already. They recruited a bunch of nobodies, and they're 18th. Hugh Freeze is doing work right now, people. He's got to get 8 more guys into this class minimum. If he can do that, this is going to easily be a top 15 class. You get 22, and you add 2 more significant pieces. I'm talking about guys with plus 91 composite ranked ratings. And you got a top 10 class, and you're bordering on a top 10 class. It might be a little bit of a fight, but he can get there. And I mean, I can't even stress, man, this is such a great job in recruiting. It is.
It's impressive.
It is an impressive job in recruiting. Like some of these kids that they're pulling in, they got blocked in, D'Angelo Barber, Jamarian Burton, Walker White, like this, Amon Lane. These kids are projected to be good.
Yeah.
So he's not pulling in a bunch of nobodies. These are all somebodies.
I mean, again, I think what's been impressed. I think what has people excited is that over the past few years, we were beating UCF for a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we were beating Memphis for a kid, right? Like that was the kid's offer list. And if we did beat an SEC school, it'll be Mississippi State.
Right.
It would be, we were seeing a lot of that, but to see us beat Clemson, Georgia twice in the same cycle.
Wow.
Same cycle, guys. And went head to head with Bama to get them from Georgia. That's crazy, considering where we were just less than a year ago. We were struggling. Recruiting was on life support. So kudos to this coaching staff. I'm finna grab some more supers before we get to the break. MH06, first post out the gate. You just want us to know Buck
Fama. Love it. Almost said that the wrong way.
I'm on board. I'm on board with this. This is the best super chat we've gotten in a while.
Bucket.
Hey, get crunked up. Buck family, get crunked up.
Yeah. He's gonna be saying that to his kids tonight. Put on the bed. Hey,
No,
buddy.
you don't say that to kids. You let them go to bed. You do not get them crunked up. You don't
He's not gonna know what that
like
means.
somebody who does not have children.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, Pop. I'm out.
I'm learning all about
just
that.
in case
I'm learning
context
all about
clues.
Yes.
Nah.
Right.
They can do that all on their own. They don't need no help for
Yeah.
sure. Auburn Dad for life, $5 super chat. We appreciate you. Says, who else but Hugh Freeze could stuff Satan and Bowl Cut into the same
Bowl
gang
cut. That's
locker?
amazing. That's an
love that
amazing
nickname.
insult.
I love that nickname.
Bowl
for him,
cut.
for sure.
He put a cereal bowl on his head and they cut the rest.
Absolutely.
That's what happened there.
Don L says, appreciate the super chat. He says, amazing what happens when you have a hungry coach and alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, what you have to do is you got to go out and you got to show these kids that they're important. They're important to you. And it's so funny. There's been an idea that recruiting at Auburn has been fairly easy for every coach that's come in. It's not been hard to get talent here. You have to really not try to get talent here. But every coach since, you know what I mean, in the 2000s.
Saw somebody do it.
Yeah, right.
They told me this place recruits itself, so let's see. Let's see.
We'll put that to the test.
All right.
Challenge.
Call the kids. I'm not calling kids. They said this place recruits itself. Did you see the grass? Go show them the grass. This place recruits itself.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
It's an easy. This is why coaches would jump from Ole Miss to Auburn, right? They understood that if you're going to put in the effort, there's a significant recruiting advantage, at Auburn over other schools. What Auburn has lacked is a coach who can take that recruiting advantage and turn it into wins on the field.
Yeah,
consistently, right? So that's what we hope. That's what Auburn fans hope Hugh Freeze is able to do. Take that recruiting advantage and turn it into wins on the field. What does that mean? That means that you flipped Demarcus Riddick. Now he can't be a bust. Composite 5-star. Stop busting out 4 and 5 stars. You want to know why the average ranking is so high? 9 4 stars, 1 composite 5-star, and 2 3 stars in this class right now. If this were a Gus class, there'd be no 5 stars.
And one of those 3 stars are really good.
Yeah, there'll be 5 4 stars, and then there'll be a bunch of 3 stars, right? That's how he recruited. This is a great job by Hugh Freeze. I'm telling you. I know there's still some 3 stars left, right? And trust me, the NFL is littered with former 3-star recruits. Right. So do not turn your nose up at a 3-star recruit. But I think that now you can start to trust this was something Ike and I talked about earlier today as well, too, the evaluation process. Are they truly better at the evaluation process than the last two staffs? Because I'm telling you, Gus got a lot of stars in the door that did not shine too bright when they got here. And it sucked. I don't want to crap on all those kids, but Owen Pappo was one of the highest rated recruits in the last 10 years. Didn't see his potential at Auburn. Why is that? He's a freak athlete. I called it. He was like, he's going to go to the combine. He's going to show out. Why didn't he put show out numbers up at Auburn?
Which was curious because it wasn't like he was playing offense. He
That's
was on
what
the
I'm saying.
defense where
Development. They blew Byron Coward, #1 in recruit overall in the country. They've got to evaluate better, and you've got to develop better. So no, you're not going to out-develop Nick Saban and Kirby Smart, but you have to somewhat recruit on their level. You got to out-develop them a little bit, and you got to out-game plan them a lot.
That's what you got to do.
That's what it is, right? But the first two will make the last thing much harder. You have the perfect plan, but you ain't got the dudes to execute. If the guy's just too slow to do what you want him to do on the field, it's just not going to work.
right.
If he can't get his weight up, he's just going to get run over. I was there. I was in place for the block, coach. Motherfuckers are stronger than me. That can't be the story.
Saying them just stronger than me to coach.
I'm pretty sure that's happened. I'm pretty sure that's happened.
In those words, like
what
those
was the dude
words.
on Remember the Titans? He was like, put such and such in, coach. I can't. They're too fast.
Well, Ryan Gosling, Ken,
Yeah.
Ken Doll.
Yeah.
I saw somebody tweet. I'll never forget. Ken got benched at the corner spot for a running back. I love it when people take a character from a movie like that actor has been that same person through all. That's the funniest thing in the world to be with. That's fun. Anyway, Remember the Titans is always that.
All right.
Yeah.
Grab some more
guys.
guys.
Be much better. Go ahead.
Robbins Carruthers just
Carruthers.
Carruthers.
Yeah.
Please.
I got
Butchered
you.
your name.
Don't squeeze the Carruthers.
Welcome.
Fresh.
Tony Barnhard
I got it.
says we are number 3 in average star ratings on Rivals. That is elite talent level. This class is on a top 5 trajectory. Once we fill it in,
Yeah, I'm telling you.
some big cats will walk late.
9 to 10 4-stars
Keep working
already.
you.
Yeah, once you add 3 stars in there, I'm telling you, this class is going to rock it up.
Well, you know what, Mike? You said something. You said that the cycle is earlier now. So you had more confidence that Riddick was going to stay in place the same way you had confidence that Coleman was going to stay in place, because now that announcement is sticking for December, because in December they want to get on campus so they can start getting practice, start getting NIL checks. Like all of that depends on you being signed and enrolled. They want to start that process as soon as possible. And if you're selling playing time, you got to get on campus early so you can be sure you're at the front of the line for spring practice and again in fall practice in the fall season. So we know, though, and this is what I wonder if this changes this. Those home game visits do a lot for us. They have done a lot for us. People who have committed to Auburn said,
yeah, for sure,
that home game visit sold me.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the only reason I would say maybe everything isn't in stone yet, because we know our home game experience is elite. Do we have a chance to flip somebody from that? Because we didn't have people weren't even really checking for us the last 2 years.
Oh, you mean for like Coleman?
For Coleman, for Poe? Because I'm generally in agreement with you. Like, I think we've got who we've got because of the advanced timetable, the early timetable for all this now. But I think there's some hope to flip some guys because, again, the experience is different. I've heard College Station is an okay experience. That Midnight Yell thing is just some weird stuff. You come here,
it's very cultish. Yeah.
You come here, and it's like, man, the red lights, they beating up on Bama in the Iron Bowl. This is crazy. I want to be a part of this.
I know they lost it at the last second. Maybe I would have been the difference.
Right.
Yeah,
there's more to sell. I'm generally, again, I'm with you. I still wonder, though, can we do a little work after the commitment, after their high school seasons have started, even though it's usually busy for them, and it's like not pro camp, what is it, like an all-star camp, the Alabama Mississippi game, and then the Under Armour this. They got a lot of stuff to do. but maybe we can
those
sneak
undecided guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, I want to be
Right.
clear about my stance on this, B. If the flip is to Auburn, it's solid. If it's going the other way, there's a chance. So I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. Just so we're on the same page. I'm with you. As long as we're talking about the recruits coming to the Plains and not going the other way.
Just not Cam Coleman.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think he may end up in Auburn eventually. But, he had his reasons, and he said that it felt like home to him, too. So that means he probably went to the Yale practice. They did the little spinny circle thing, which did you look into, and it, like, hypnotizes you. And he was like, Texas A&M, and now he's going there. So maybe he'll wake up before December. It's possible. What B is saying is possible.
So in other words, he's in a sunken place.
Yeah, right. He's in a sunken place. So I just
good luck though, kid. Good luck.
Yeah, which is what I said to him. I said, listen, man, like everybody makes this decision. I grew up in the town that he's from. I went to the high school he's from. I get wanting to get out of here and go see something different in the world. That's it. Is College Station the best place? Time will tell, but it is what it is.
And we've talked about that, how tough it is to keep kids home especially if you grew up in a small town. That's tough. That's very tough to do. When you don't do it, I get it. Let's get to the break, guys. Do us a favor. Some of you've already been commenting on it. Please be sure to share this video, smash that like button, subscribe if you are new to our channel. If you found us tonight, please be sure to subscribe to us. Let's pause and acknowledge our sponsors.
This edition of the War Rapport is brought to you by our generous sponsors. AuburnSports.com. For news and notes on all things Auburn Sports, head over to AuburnSports.com. Harmon Mechanical, a heating and air company offering premier service to the Auburn area and surrounding areas. Give them a call at 334-219-0717 or head over to their website at harmonmechanical.com. Let them know the War Rapport sent you. Harmon Mechanical. We're there when you need air. And our giveaway sponsor, War Eagle Oil. For all of your motor oil and related products, head over to wareagleoil.com. As always, the sponsors of the War Rapport help keep the lights on here. And those of you who are doing the membership thing, you are doing your part to make sure we continue cranking out this great content. And we appreciate you all very much. $5.99 gets you to patron level, meaning that you are, supreme boss. If you want to be an underboss, $3.99 will get you there, And if you want to be in here for free and just watch our stuff, you're still awesome because, hey, it's the War Rapport and that's how our family gets down, man. But we appreciate everybody who continues to support us. If you want to be even more of a boss, like let's see who has done this so far today. Auburn Dad and Brian Hancher and Wesley Hilson and Ben Bloodworth.
Wow.
You could gift a membership.
Thanks, y'all.
Appreciate you guys for continuing to do that. Gifted memberships means that somebody gets a month of free membership on you. So we thank you for those who continue to support us in that way. If you want to get something for free, you don't have to be a member. You don't have to be subscribed. You don't have to be anything. You just have to be here in the chat. Hashtag get your weight up right now. We'll do the drawing here in about 20 minutes. You got to be present to win that. Sponsored by War Eagle Oil. And listen, if you want to support other people that are connected to us, we got a whole network of those now.
Yeah,
the College Loop, the Uptempo Podcast, and we here at the War Rapport are all potting at the Auburn Express. Make sure you hit us up on any place that you listen to podcasts. We rebroadcast stuff from here from the lives, and then we have pod exclusive content. We're going to get back into that pod exclusive content coming up here very soon. We just did one recently, actually, the Van Plexico interview that Mike G did. Make sure you guys go and listen to that. That dropped on Monday, but all of those things are available to y'all. And then once again, just for GP, HelloFresh, man. Head over to support HelloFresh /Rapport50. Get the hashtag, get the URL correct so you get to the right place. Use our code in there, Rapport50, get you 50% off of that purchase. Free shipping on that first order. That lets them know the War Rapport sent you, and that helps again. That's another way you can support us, support the people who support us. So hopefully you guys can go ahead and get in on that.
I am like on a HelloFresh journey. So if you've been following the War Rapport, at one point, in my health journey, I lost 115 pounds. Had ballooned up to 315, 120 pounds actually, dropped down to 195 with some healthy habits. Because of the lupus, I am on that journey again. So hoping HelloFresh will help me through that journey because diet is the basis for everything. And I'm telling you guys, at my age, you can't outwork a bad diet. It's it. I don't have enough energy in the day to outwork a bad diet. And so HelloFresh meet lupus, right? I hope one kicks the other's butt. So HelloFresh, try it if you haven't. If you haven't tried anything like this, it's a good way to put together good, healthy meals without having to go through the mental exercise of what am I going to cook, right? Which is what stops a lot of people from eating healthy. Oh, I'm going to go cook McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, all the stuff that's killing us. Yeah, so give this a shot.
Unless they want to sponsor us, then it's not killing us.
unless Chick-fil-A's coming, then them sandwiches cure lupus.
Start making up stuff.
I know. 2 Chick-fil-A sandwiches a day, and all my inflammation was going
away. I was gonna make that rhyme. All right. Oda Smith says Perry will, just in case you didn't hear him the first time, he says Perry will join on Sunday. Poe and Cam will be here. National signing.
A lot of people are anticipating a Perry flip. Do you know what that's going to do to this class?
Yeah, man.
If he joins, I'm telling you, it's a sign of things to come, and we should celebrate it now. Right? I think that it's good for the kids to see the fans celebrating it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah,
that
let the kids
excitement
see
from, especially when you juxtapose. I gotta throw in my big words every now and then. When you juxtapose that with the Bama fans crapping on them.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I get it. You know, you guys want to be jerks. Cool. Well, we'll embrace the young man and he'll come over here and he'll, show y'all what's up when we get to the Iron Bowl.
I'm not a big fan of tweeting at recruits, but if you're going to tweet at a recruit, do it after he commits and tell him you appreciate his commitment. Welcome to the Plains. Welcome to the family. Let him feel the love. Yeah. Right? Celebrate it. Celebrate it loud and proud after they say, I'm committed.
For sure.
They see that their families see that. And the families also see them start talking nasty to them too, and that stays with them as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, I mean,
so shout out to the grandma that was out there doing
Willie?
her thing. Grandma Willie.
Grandma Willie was getting into him.
Come to the if you guys see Grandma Willie on Twitter right now, just at and send her the link to the video and tell her the War Rapport said what's up.
That's right. Yeah, she was. There was, from what I understand, there was possibly a fake Auburn account or there was a Bama account that was tweeting out, was like, this is his grandma. Yeah. And then she just started dropping receipts.
Right.
And then he or she went away. Never to be seen from again. So, these are hard decisions. One of the things she was highlighting in her tweets was these are very difficult decisions for these kids. Right. It's something we've said repeatedly on the show. It's tough. You got to decide where you're going to spend the next 4 years. And with the advent of the portal, it means you get one do-over. And I think what Hugh Freeze has to do with this program is you got to be the hot girl that nobody wants to leave. You can't, you have to be, people have to come here and want to stay. And the only reason they're leaving is because it's just too crowded. And even then, you got to convince those guys to stay. We've talked about this repeatedly at quarterback. Somehow, Saban convinces his 5-stars to sit behind other 5-stars.
Yeah, because they listen, when you know that all I need is one really good year on this team that's going to compete for a championship.
You'll wait.
Yeah, you listen, I'll save my body. I don't have to take this abuse for 2-3 years. I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to fill in my role for one full season and I'm going to go to the league.
Yeah.
And he can say, hey, we've done that. Look, example. Bryce Young lit it up for 2 years. That was unusual.
Right.
They just don't have guys that are multiple year starters at the quarterback position over there. Not of recent.
Right.
It's usually this guy gets his 1 year in the spotlight and then he's gone. So, you know, we're now, but a lot of these kids, they want to come and play, right? And so that's what we're selling right now. Cool. You can come in the door freshman year, walk in here and play immediately. 2 years later, we'll have you in the league. But in 2 years from now, that story is going to change significantly if we stay on this trajectory. It's going to be come in here, develop underneath this program, wait your turn. And then in year 2, you know, we'll rotate you in if you're a DB, wide receiver. You know, you'll get your chances. But if you want to be the guy, wait until your redshirt freshman year or your redshirt sophomore year, and you're going to be the next man up.
Mm-hmm. B. Will, you had a question about this. Do you remember your question? It was offline.
Oh, yeah. Well, so thinking about this, because we know we had a couple of recruiting weekends over the last couple of months where we thought guys were going to recruit. They did the whole eyeball emoji thing all over socials, right?
Mm. Thought they were going to commit, you mean?
We thought a couple of people were going to commit. So House was a bust. He ends up going to Stanford after we were favored. Coleman's a bust because he commits to Texas A&M in the dead of night when nobody expected it. It was a terrible night because Ike was like, Coleman to A&M. I was like, what? He ain't supposed to commit today. What's going on? What? It's terrible news. So all the excitement, all the eyeball emojis, all of the hype from not only the coaches, the players who are already on the team, the players who are committed to being here but aren't signed yet, to get nothing. And then it kind of felt like, well, what are we doing all this for? Why are we putting on this show if it's not netting us any results? But then you get something like this, though. It's like, okay, maybe this pitch, this attitude, this high energy positivity for a guy who's not committed to your program, who's committed to another program. So it's not like you necessarily even have the lead on the dude. Is that the right way to recruit? Not faulting the energy and the intention, because we need that. No matter how you recruit, you need to do it intentionally with a lot of energy and a lot of purpose. I think we all agree about that. But is the making the kid the star of the show before they've given you any commitment, is there any downside to that? You do that so many times and then you get turned down and then you're looking like, wow, why are you doing all this for guys who don't even want y'all? What are you doing this for? But if it works, then you come out looking like a genius. Man, you saw how much he put into them coming here, the photo shoots and the social media push and all of that. I can see why some people would look at it skeptically, because it's got to land some results. We've got to get the dudes to commit. And when they commit, they've got to be energetic about being here, like we see Amon Lane, like we see Fat Burnett, like we see Walker White, like we see pretty much all the guys who have committed to us. And that's happening at a higher clip as well, though. It's not just 1 or 2 cheerleaders we have in our recruiting class. We got like 4 or 5 of them. So my question would be, does this specific method of recruiting, do you think it feels like, well, anything with this level of intensity is better than what we had before, but does this have a boom or bust kind of streak that comes along with it? Is there a better way to do it that you think? Because I don't see Kirby and Nick in Ohio State putting on this type of positivity push to get the recruits. But again, they've got some bona fides that we don't have right now. Is there a better alternative, or is this just, hey, this is how he does it, and if it works, it works?
Yeah, I mean,
I think this is just his process, and he's gonna go with what works for him. Listen, I guess the question that boils down to for me is, are you okay with making a fool out of yourself and it not working out? Because Sam, that's essentially what it is. You're gonna put on this big show and then it doesn't work, and now you look silly. But man, I'm gonna take the approach. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Facts.
Right. And I'm not going to half-ass my shot. Right. Like we're gonna give you the full. We're gonna lay out the red carpet. And if you decide you don't want to do it, it's not gonna be because my effort wasn't there. If it doesn't work, you chose to go somewhere else. You can't say Auburn didn't make an effort and a real push for me, because we're gonna do what we need to do to show you that we want you to be a part of this. Go for it, man.
Yeah, listen,
shoot your shot.
I don't care what Kirby and those guys are doing. dance on the pole, do whatever you got to
Wait,
do.
hold up now. Why we got to know? We not dancing on poles,
Dance
Mike?
on the table. Dance.
No,
do
no tabletop
whatever.
dances either. Rick
put on
Pitino,
the
calm
clown
down.
suit.
Calm down, Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino.
No dancing.
Put on the clown suit. Do whatever you got to do. At the
Okay,
end of
that's
the
fine.
day,
I
Auburn
don't even like
has
that,
got
but-
the 27th ranked class right now, and they're 10th in the SEC in recruiting. There are 9 schools ranked in front of Auburn right now. Auburn comes in at 27. Ole Miss, South Carolina, Arkansas, LSU, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, all have classes ranked higher than Auburn right now. This is how hyper competitive it is.
Most
Don't
of them
care.
have more recruits though.
True, but I'm
Right.
saying, like, I mean, once you catch up, it's gonna be a tight race. You could finish 5th in the SEC, and I'm sorry, you could finish like in the top 15 and still be 5th or 6th in the SEC in recruiting easily. So it doesn't really matter what everybody else is doing. To Mike's point, you got to do what you got to do to get them in the door.
Right. I mean, and
Right.
at some point in time, maybe you don't have to do that. But I think that part of this process for Coach Hugh Freeze is it's really about the red carpet treatment. Like, and here's my thing. You got to be true to whatever your brand is.
That's right.
Right. Like Chick-fil-A didn't all of a sudden stop sending people out there with iPads to your car because other people were like, man, we ain't finna be doing all that. You just pull around here to this window. Chick-fil-A is like, look, what we do is we have people come out to your car.
Right.
And if you don't appreciate that level of service,
Go to
wait for some-
McDonald's. And
right,
they will throw the Big Mac at you through the window.
listen, if that's what you want,
You ordered
listen,
a Big Mac?
and McDonald's is wildly successful. Nobody's telling you to
Right.
change up what you do. That's just not what we do here. That's
Right.
not our process. That's not our brand. That's not how we make you feel when you come here.
Right.
We want to do something different, and we want to welcome you in a different way. If you
And
like
it's-
that other process, go there. Fine, cool. They'll be
Right.
successful. We'll be successful doing what we do.
And what I also say too is that you can differentiate yourself when you also have confidence in yourself to close. Because really and truly, it doesn't matter what you do if you have confidence in your ability to close. When you
Right.
get this kid flipped from Georgia and beat Bama to flip him, you get the kid from Tuskegee, you get Walker White, you're showing your ability to close. Now, we can just have fun with this because I already know what I'm gonna do once I get this kid through the door. We get them the treatment. We roll out the red carpet. We're gonna put that work in and get you in this class. And I think that's what's so cool about this is we've seen Auburn be gimmicky at times and it not work. But I think what we are seeing on display today, what we'll probably see this weekend, is a staff. You gave Aldridge a lot of credit, B. We got some guys on this staff who can close.
Yeah, they got closers.
And so on top of when you have that, it don't matter what the staff, everything else is icing on the cake, giving them the full treatment. I think
Yeah.
it's dope. Knowing on the back end that these guys are going to handle business and get us a nice class, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think that recruiting, and trying to build a good program, there's no one thing that's a magic pill that's going to save your program, right? It's a mixture of things that you have to do consistently at a high level to have a high level program. So sure, you have to recruit, but like I were mentioning, you got to develop, you've got to train, you've got to teach, you've got to do all these things. You got to develop leaders. You need a good system. You need a good playbook. You need awesome coordinators. You need closers on your staff, right? And when too many of those things fail, it looks pretty on the outside, but when it gets put to the test, which is an SEC schedule, the cracks in the foundation are exposed. And too many times that's what happened with Gus classes. It was pretty on the outside, but when it got put to the test, i.e. 2017 SEC championship, the cracks in the foundation were exposed. 2013 national championship, couldn't close the deal. They had one more dude than we did. 8 years, averaging 8 wins with top 10 classes, Not one playoff. Not one. You got to do all the things consistently. One line, it's funny. I was talking to Zach, and it was so funny. Like, Harsin, he had so many lines that would have been epic had his tenure here worked out.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he said that I think it would be a good mantra for any program was, if we're going to win championships here, everything we do matters.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't apply that to himself, but it doesn't make the statement any less true.
Right.
If he had applied that to recruiting, might still be here. My whole point is, I think that Hugh Freeze understands where to start in the process.
Yeah.
And then eventually he'll start to shift his focus a little bit. This is why he's taking more of a delegating approach to some of the other things. He needs coordinators he can trust. He talked about Philip Montgomery and Philip Montgomery's role. He understands as a head coach, I have to be deeply involved in recruiting at this point. I've got to show recruits that on the highest levels of this program, they are wanted and they're important to what we're trying to do. But there are only so many hours in the day. I remember when we interviewed Hugh Freeze. He was tired, man. That dude looked like he just got back from a 20-day camping trip. He had the fuzz. And as soon as the interview was over, he was like, all right, guys, I got to go talk to a recruit. As soon as it was over. That man is working his butt off right now in recruiting. So he knows that's where it starts. He's got to have people that he can trust that can take care of the details, so he can delegate details to, so that he doesn't have to micromanage the minutia, and he can keep the overall vision of the program headed the right direction. I think that's what the better coaches have done for so long. They hire people, right? The mark of a good leader are the leaders they have under them. Doing the job. Head coach gets a lot of the credit. But when you do it effectively, those people will go on to be head coaches elsewhere. And you will not only be producing good players, you'll be producing coaches in college football to come. The Saban coaching tree is ridiculous. But from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, he came from the Belichick coaching tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
He did.
Good coaches produce good coaches. That's something else I'll be looking for as this program proceeds into years 2 and 3. It's going to be hard. Like, when you have success, it's hard to keep a good staff together.
Yeah.
It's really hard to keep a good staff together.
Listen, let's grab some supers. Daniel Moultrie, we appreciate you, man, with the $4.99 super chat. He says we have 300 plus people who haven't liked the video. Come on, people.
Sometimes the
Hashtag
likes take a while to catch up to.
No,
I've
I'm
learned
looking
this.
at the live likes. He's right.
Is he right? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I
Y'all,
stand corrected. Screw y'all.
Smash.
Hit like
And now we're at over 500 and only 175 likes.
you
So.
know what's
Y'all,
funny? Yeah. Have you seen the
smash.
traders? And they'll be like, "We're not saying another word until we get the 500 likes." Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's where we're at right now.
Smash the
Mute
like
myself.
button, y'all. Smash the like button. It helps
Not
us
the little
out.
heart react button. Talking about the thumbs up button on the actual video. That's what
Yeah.
we're talking about, y'all.
That's it.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about.
Like it, not love it. Like it. Thumbs. Okay. Walt, appreciate you, man. Appreciate the $10 super chat. He says, any idea where Jordan Ross, the edge from Vestavia Hills, is going? I'm not sure, but all I know is he looks like he's heading out of state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, Auburn is happy.
Hey, look, there you go. Now we're already up to 223 likes. Look at
Yeah,
y'all.
you just gotta
Man,
tell
all we
him.
gotta do is
Just gotta
ask.
tell him. Auburn got Joseph Phillips, and I think they were happy with him. He shut down his recruitment. That was something that was announced recently, which again, that's a big recruiting win. When
Yes.
kids stop being recruited and they're done, that's another victory. I think they're happy with the edge position with him coming in. Not quite sure where he's going from this point on. I know he was in consideration before we locked down our guy, but we got our guy.
Yeah.
Auburn Dad for Life said $20 super chat says, so this happened. I was driving back while listening to the fireside chat when I hit a dead zone right at 3:59 p.m. So for a good 10 minutes, I was having PTSD over debate. debate.
He meant Demarcus Riddick's decision. That's what he meant. Right?
Okay, Demarcus Riddick decision. Okay, so I about had an attack once. Twitter blew up my phone.
Yeah, Twitter was going nuts. People were texting me and they were like, dude, how crazy is it going to be at 4:00? And I'm like, it's going to be nuts. People are going to be waiting on this thing to happen. And just the excitement generated, I think, is telling about the direction of the program. Now, he said something very important in this, and that's the fireside chat. If you have not seen the fireside chat,
it's true.
Go watch, because we have more fireside content coming. And the more you guys, I understand it's a new piece, but the more you guys watch this content, the more we can do. Support this. Like the athletes, it was such a dynamic conversation for the athletes. It was a great time for us and for everybody involved. And the next one is going to be like, I can't announce who and what and when just yet, but we're looking forward to the next one. And this is going to be a series of them, and it's not going to be limited to football. So our goal is to make Fireside with the War Rapport the must-do thing for every athlete that comes through Auburn.
Yes, indeed.
Just sit around the fire pit and talk about life and ball and the balance beam and anything else, equestrian. We will do it. We'll get everybody by the fireside. Then the more you guys go to this content, the bigger it will become. We want to blow this up into the most unique, original thing that Auburn content creation has ever produced. So Fireside with the War Rapport is going to be huge, and we appreciate everybody who supported it to date.
Are we ready to draw? We can get some more comments.
Let's give away something.
We are giving away a T-shirt.
He's not going to wait.
War Rapport T-shirt courtesy of War Eagle Oil, and I would stall, but we got a lot to catch up with. So take it away.
I thought he was going to hit start before you even flipped it up there.
Not quite, but somebody's got to win this, and it is.
Who they teasing? Not one. Kelsey
Gardner. It didn't even pause for real this time. Even the giveaway thing was like, nah, we got to keep.
Nah, Kelsey, you got to be here to win.
Y'all be on the lookout for Kelsey. I'm going to grab some more comments. MHO6 says, like the video, or you're getting a bowl cut. You're getting the Kirby.
This is the thing. In high school, they used to make fun of people who had bowl cuts. Was that y'all high school too? They'd be like, they put a bowl on your head and they cut it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fun time.
That was not, yeah. James Barnett, appreciate the super chat. He says, where are all the Freeze haters now? Y'all are mighty quiet. Y'all said we couldn't do it on every level, and we are slowly proving y'all wrong. Keep that energy for the season 2. Let's go.
All these, I'm not going to watch Auburn football people. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're going to watch. You may not be, you may be quiet about it, but you're going to watch, because if you support Auburn, you're going to watch. There's no principled stance that you're going to take. This, you may not go to a game, but you're going to watch. All right.
Definitely watching.
Yeah. Harson said that. Another Harson quote. Just watch. Well, we did.
Okay, Mike. I know you said if you're gonna say get crunk, can we at least get a Yahtzee then?
No.
You know what, Mike G? I was thinking about this today, and I forgot to talk about it before. We put 5 stars, Mike G.
You said get crunk,
5 stars.
Let's get. We can at least.
We can say Yahtzee if we saying get crunked up. Yahtzee, and it actually accounted for something. We got a 5-star commitment who's now already started recruiting for us with other 5 stars.
I'm pretty clear.
But you can't say Yahtzee.
I've been clear on this since the beginning. My stance.
You've been clear, but we haven't recruited like this in a while, Mike G. I think you need to say Yahtzee.
Yeah, man, do it for the culture.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I stand on principle.
Okay. All right. Well,
don't worry, y'all. We're gonna get Mike G.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him to do it. Kelsey Gardner says, "I'm here."
If we get 500 likes on this, I'll say it.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Get them likes.
Challenge accepted.
We're gonna start playing music until we get. We ain't saying nothing else. All right, Kelsey, congratulations, man. Business at the War Rapport. Email us at business@thewarrapport. Shirt size, address. That shirt's coming your way. We appreciate you. As a matter of fact, we got your super chat right here. Your $4.99 super chat. Appreciate it. He says, book it. I like this confidence, man. I like this.
Timothy gets fired. Coleman flips. This is one thing. Yeah, the coach getting fired will definitely change the kids' plans.
It will,
for sure. All right. So late in the process, yes, I agree with this. This could be a reason Coleman says, "Ooh, he got fired." Probably not getting that bag anymore. I'm going.
Who knows? Lisa Wise, appreciate you, Lisa, for being with us. May not last, but after last year, I am living this. There you go. Live your best life, Lisa. Get your whole entire life.
That's what I'm saying, Lisa.
Shout out to the
Be
Gumps.
excited.
I like that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Gumps for all that hate.
Everybody be sad until December.
To all my
Hold up, man. I didn't say
Since
be
we doing
sad.
old
I said
references, I had to get that in.
I'm in control of my emotions. See,
He
I don't
is
wanna
trying to
just get
temper
hyped.
his excitement.
That's all it is.
all.
I am
He's
excited.
tempering his excitement.
I'm just storing it up.
Okay.
I'm storing it up.
Okay.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Bankroll Blockade says Saban gave that man the presidential escort in the Benz just for him to commit.
He drove him to the restaurant so he could go on a date with another girl.
Yeah,
Yikes.
for real.
Wow.
Now that see when you talk about being embarrassed that you did too much,
I know.
I ain't gonna lie, that's
Listen,
embarrassing.
hey man, listen. He just
Embarrassed.
showing that he has a career in Uber driving after his coaching.
Oh
career
my
starts.
God.
But
He
see,
had the
Saban
bling
gets
on and
enough. He
everything.
gets enough other wins where it's
Uber
like, well, we got
XL.
another one coming around the corner. You know, it's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, he
But
had another
we
one in
need
the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a spare in the car.
Hilarious. Speaking of old time references, Timothy Monk says Mike G is the #1 stunner.
Yeah.
What you did there.
That's crazy. I was listening to that in the Tessie the other day. #1 stunner.
Jaquan Grant says, did y'all see the video of the whole Auburn football team and staff watching Demarcus Riddick commit to AU and they celebrated? Now that's culture I would definitely commit to.
See,
War Eagle.
and they can celebrate. We can
Yeah.
celebrate.
See, listen,
Brian.
here's what's so
They got a whole video out of it.
I didn't
Brian,
say don't
They
celebrate.
waited till December.
This is why this is so cool. Is 5-star Camarion Franklin is actually on campus today.
Ooh, what?
So he got to witness all of that. He got to see who potentially he's going to have a chance to play with. He sees the coaching staff excited, players excited.
Yeah, I agree.
This is strategic.
Yeah.
This is very strategic in what
Y'all
they're
gonna throw me a
doing.
party too?
Right.
Yes.
Come
yes,
on.
young man. We will.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man,
You know, so
I mean, if you commit before you leave today, we'll throw the party with you here. So
Yeah, it is.
absolutely. So I like that. I like that post, Jaquan. I agree because they had some guys, a dude on campus when this celebration went on. So that was very strategic. Corey Weber says, I think Aldridge takes over for Roberts in 2 years.
I can see it. I can see that.
Mm.
Although I don't want to lose him as a linebacker coach because
Yeah. Well, I'll wait till they've coached some games. But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see how the staff is going to come together on the field in game planning and preparation.
that's important.
Yeah.
Stuart Donald says, guys, we're getting eyeballs from current players right now.
Maybe that's because Franklin is in here. Like, oh, I like this energy. Let's make it
Now,
official.
I'm trying to tell you,
Man.
like, once you get a girl, all the other
Man.
girls take notice.
Yeah. True story.
That's how the game has always worked.
That's how it works.
we got like 82 girl spots to fill though. So I mean it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. We got a lot more spots on our roster than most guys
A
got.
whole harem. Let's go.
How we end up with this language again? Pimp hand
know.
dancing on the pole. Now we at harems. Come on, Mike.
You don't have to repeat it.
You don't have to say it.
I have to say it twice. I do. I'm Mike G. I have to say it.
Anyway,
You don't have to repeat it.
What
That's
are
who I
you
am.
doing?
This is who I am. Stop trying. Don't censor me.
You two will. All right.
Back
So
demonetized.
big cat weekend.
Mhm.
It's in a few days, and we're already off to a great start. What do y'all think about Perry Thompson? He will be there. This has been the guy that, I mean, in terms of getting someone to flip, this has been the flip talk right here. We didn't realize how that Demarcus Riddick was going to actually happen when a lot of the excitement about Perry Thompson began to kind of pick up. Our thoughts about Perry Thompson, and do you think? Let's do it this way. We're not going to predict, but how are you feeling about Perry Thompson potentially flipping to Auburn?
I feel good about it.
I feel real good about it too. Like, this is something that's been talked about for quite some time. right? And I think that as you continue to build momentum in recruiting by convincing these other kids to flip, you know, you're Perry Thompson and you're looking at this. Now, I told you when we talked about this, Thompson's going to flip. So if you any doubt in your mind, I'm telling you right now, Thompson's going to flip. Hugh Freeze is going to add this piece to the puzzle. I think that Coleman going to A&M was a sign that Thompson is coming to Auburn. I think it played a role. These kids talk to each other, right? And those kids talk to us. I'm telling you, Thompson's going to flip. So I'm planning another big party for Thompson, for Perry Thompson. He's coming to Auburn. And, you know, when we talk about trying to get into that top 10, landing these types of recruits is going to be key to that. And do it with 4 and 5 stars, and then fill your class out on the back end with 3 stars. You need the dudes, right? Because you're going to miss on some. And when you fill your class with 3 stars and you miss, the gap between you and the haves and the have-nots in the conference grows significantly. When you fill it with 4s and 5 stars and you miss and you've evaluated properly, you've got some cushion to catch up.
Yeah.
They got to get Thompson, man, and they're going to get Thompson. So, Mike, you know, they have the crystal ball, War Rapport crystal ball, Thompson to AU.
I don't want to get in that business. No, that's the Mike G crystal ball.
Okay, Mike G crystal ball.
Yeah.
Powered by the War Rapport.
Okay, it's better.
Mike G powered by the War Rapport.
That sounds like a random Twitter parody account, like because it's close enough to Mario Cristobal, Mike G Cristobal.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I'm with that.
Yeah, and my whole you know what? My profile picture will be the Crystal Ball Championship trophy that they very foolishly discarded for whatever the hell it is we have now for a championship trophy. But look into
that was a nice championship trophy.
It was kissing the crystal ball was such an iconic thing. Now they have this Game of Thrones looking weapon that they give to teams. Like don't
even give it that much credit. It's just
I don't even know what that thing is. But ultimately,
real basic.
I'm telling you, when the dominoes start to fall with these high level recruits, people start to look and they're like, why are these guys choosing Auburn? Let me call up Demarcus Riddick and see what he's talking. These guys know how to get in contact with each other. They all talk to each other.
Yeah.
So whatever Hugh Freeze is doing, it's going to spread. And other people are going to pick it up. No, because I've already predicted that Thompson is coming. I'm confident.
We'll get him, y'all. Don't worry.
Yeah, 500 likes. That's all we need. 516.
We're only at 285. It doesn't look like that's going to happen before we get out of here.
Dang it. Come on, y'all.
You know something that's happening that's kind of a pattern. A pattern for the guys that are flippable. Flippable guys are guys usually that have committed early.
Mm-hmm.
So the roster changes. New players come in. I mean, as a matter of fact, I saw a couple of Georgia people postulating that they got a commitment from a more highly rated linebacker was the reason Riddick was like, well, I don't know. Hugh Freeze said that playing time is one of his first things that he's pitching at these guys. So if you're the biggest recruit, you're the star in this class on defense, or at least at linebacker, hey, we're losing a couple linebackers after this season, guaranteed. I don't know if we are, but that's what you tell them, sure.
No, we definitely are.
We are.
I mean, I know Larry Nixon, but I don't think anybody else is a senior. I think Steiner's a senior, but he's got another COVID year.
Yeah.
And but anyway, so I think you have a better chance at flipping somebody who chose early, and all the dynamics with that school, that program, the coordinators, the position coaches, that changes. Because look at what happened in Alabama, right? Their defensive coordinator changed. It's Kevin Steele over there. I don't know who their position coaches are. I have no idea who their position coaches are. Probably for the first time in a long time. I can say I don't know who's over there, and I don't really care either. Their defensive play hasn't really wowed anybody. They played kind of sort of to the level of their talent. And some guys have even come in there and underperformed. And I can't say I remember that happening there for a long time. So you see that happening in real time after you committed a year ago. You're like, I don't know. what y'all got going over here, Auburn. You have a long time to change their minds on somebody. And I saw somebody saying in the chat that was it not the guy in 24, Ryan Williams, 25 class, that Harsin did virtually ignored this man when he was on campus for a recruiting visit. Well, you know what? Fortunately for us, we got a lot of time to turn that around. Between the energy that we can show by picking up a Thompson, putting some good footage out there with what you do with offense in the 23 season, and now you got a whole nother year to convince him to make the same move that Thompson could potentially make. Yeah. And you see what Riddick, long time commit. Oh, well, we flipped him. Why? The roster changed over there. The commitment class changed. Same thing with Bama and Perry Thompson, and also possibly with Ryan Williams. So I'm going to believe the chances are higher for somebody who's been where they've committed for a long time. As a matter of fact, you saw that with Georgia against us with George Pickens. George Pickens was recruited to us for 18 months.
Technically, he wasn't committed, but yes, he was favored to go to Auburn, and in the last minute, Georgia swooped in and got him.
Right, long time lane is a bad sign. I feel much more comfortable getting somebody to commit summer before their senior season to December than I would a year before that. That's shaky. That's too much time for things to change to me.
For sure. I mean, and again, you tell Ryan Williams, listen, if it makes you feel any better, I know Harsin ignored you, but if it makes you feel any better, he ignored a lot of people. All right. So just come on back and we'll actually give you some love, man. And he should be at Big Cat this weekend as well, as part of the 2025 class as well. And I like how they have kids from different classes coming. It's not just 2024. I think the kid, don't they have the kid, the Seaborn kid, the QB, the really young guy?
The
he's coming too. Yeah.
I guess he's about to be a ninth grader, but yeah.
Yeah, he's coming. He's coming. So I like how they're breaking it out. KJ Bolden will be there. Some people are feeling good about KJ Bolden, and I think he commits August 5th.
Something like that.
And I know it's been a Georgia-Ohio State battle, but hearing from some people, this seems like Auburn been making a move on him as well. I'm curious to see what happens this weekend. This is going to be a really exciting weekend.
It is.
Coaching staff is excited. They're already tweeting eye emojis. We'll see. We will definitely see for sure. Let's grab some of these comments and supers before we get out of here. Auburn Dad for Life says this back and forth candor with the fellas makes me proud to be an Auburn Tiger. Same here, Auburn Dad. Same here.
Same.
Auburn Dad came back and cleaned it up with the $2. He says candor, not Anders.
Yeah. Autocorrect be like that sometimes.
It can be the worst. Seth
Autocorrect
Wood, 499 super chat. Appreciate you. Says Riddick. Me and my family haven't celebrated on a group text like that since 2021 LSU.
Oh man, you know what? I saw somebody in the chat said,
Great post.
Are we busting out the Chronicles of Riddick t-shirts? I think it's Ike. I think we need a t-shirt.
Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get it's going to get claimed. You know what I mean?
Ike doesn't seem excited, but
it's going to be
that sounds like somebody's going to sue us, but okay.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a copyright claim. It's still going to be a copyright claim.
Yeah.
Make one, and then it'll be the only one.
Yeah.
Right before we get the cease and desist.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Nobody watches Vin Diesel.
You're probably right. Wesley Hilson says, appreciate the super chat. He says, this is for the start of the What We Drinking the War Rapport Collective.
I'm drinking nothing, but I will enjoy watching you guys have some adult beverages.
I'm always drinking water all the time. That's all I'm drinking.
I'm a water guy. I'm a water guy. We got kids over here, man. You know, we got to be alert. I'm a swivel. Ben Bloodworth says, got my mom, class of 75. Wow. Appreciate that, Ben.
Mama Bloodworth.
Shouts out to Mom Bloodworth there. War Eagle to you. Appreciate that, my good friend. Drake Barefoot says, I'll do 50 membership gifts again if Mike G yells Yahtzee.
Swallow that pride, Mike.
Oh, man, this ain't fair.
Let that pride go,
yeah,
man.
it is. This is easy. This is
Let that pride go.
Yes.
Sell out, Mike. Sell out, Mike.
You can do it.
Sell out.
We believe in you.
We need Texas A&M on the phone for you. Sell out, Mike.
Do it.
Nah. Something
Do it.
Y'all see this right here? We're gonna be down a member tomorrow. He turned down the money.
Yahtzee.
Yeah.
He
That
said
was-
it.
Yeah.
He said Yale. He said,
Hey.
All right.
All
There
right.
you go.
All
Yahtzee.
right.
Yeah.
Yahtzee.
Everybody's got a price, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you
I said
forget
it 4 times, so that's 50 times 4, right? It's 200 memberships. Thanks, Drake. Thanks for the 200.
and then Blake Robinson says,
I see what you did.
Chronicles.
That's
of
I'm
Riddick.
actually gonna retitle this live when we're done, and it's gonna now be called Chronicles of Riddick. Thank you for that.
Shout out Blake.
Shout
that
out
was
to Blake.
that
for
was genius.
Blake
I
coming
think that
through.
Chronicles. that
Oh,
probably
he actually did it.
sidesteps.
50 gifted memberships just popped up.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Appreciate-
You
150
didn't even
more
have
to
to do
go.
that. You didn't even have to do that. I just want to just give Mike G to say it. Well, we
He's a
appreciate
man
that.
of his word. He had to do it.
Yeah, you're my guy. You're my
Yeah,
guy. We
he
appreciate
had to do
you,
it.
man. G Bird says, Mike G, can you please teach Jason Campbell that Zach's name is Blackerby, not Blackberry?
So, if you don't know about this, he did a On the Victory podcast, and he was calling him Blackberry the whole time.
Yeah,
And so when I heard it, I sent Zach a picture of like a BlackBerry like cell phone. And that's all I said. No caption, just a BlackBerry cell phone picture. And he said he just kept doing it. I didn't want to correct him.
I think
It was
that's
so
that
funny.
is karma for all the calzone jokes he had.
Yeah.
For, for our-
And so there, I did my episode with Jason. And I was like, "Oh, I love the one that you get with Zach Blackerby," and he was like, "Is that his last name?" Auburn calls him Blackberry. I'm like, oh god, that's why we can't have nice things.
No, I want to call him Blackberry. Wait till we see him at
No,
fall
dude.
camp. That's all.
I do not do that. Veto.
oh man.
Jason, come on, bro. It's not even that hard to say. Blackerby. Do those things look alike for real?
Blackberry.
I mean, they're close. They, I could see how you could get
I can
Blackberry
see
out
how
of
you
that,
could do
but
that.
it's
It's-
you.
but it's-
No,
you're
I
doing
ain't
a
letting
lot,
them off the
though.
hook. Yeah, right. I ain't letting them off the hook. Blackerby.
Blackberry.
Why, Jason? Why? Oh my god.
Brad Browning says every time Mike G says Yahtzee, AU gets another 5-star.
We'll see.
We'll
I mean,
see.
that means we need four,
Need
four,
four.
five, four,
Need
or 5
four.
stars. Now you just said it 4 times, so
Hey.
True.
For sure. Also, let's see here. Trash Panda says so far we've gotten 2 linebackers this cycle that Georgia wanted.
Mm.
True story.
If you can build a defense like they had the last 2 years, I won't be mad at it.
Yeah, for
At all.
Greg Reeves says Perry. I guess is that
quote tweeting.
quote
Yep.
tweeting?
Yep.
Yeah. Got
Yeah.
me pretty.
I'm trying to tell y'all, Harry's coming. You might as well just get ready for it.
I am
Hang the banner.
Yeah.
He's
hang
a
the
tiger.
banner.
He's a tiger.
Roger Aiken says we really need some O-line commitments, and I think they're coming. Reese
Yeah.
Baker, I think that's someone who Auburn also is keeping an eye on this weekend as well. He's an offensive tackle who camped at Auburn, who the coaching staff felt pretty good about. He is expected to be at Big Cat, so we'll definitely keep an eye out for him. Aaron Finney says went on Bama's page and so many people saying we paid him a lot of money. I mean, if they lose anything, it has to be payments or cheating. Not everyone loves Bama like that. LOL.
Mm.
Damn sure.
If let's be clear, Auburn doesn't have more money than Alabama. We didn't outbid Alabama for a player. Stop.
Yeah. I mean,
Stop.
listen, they've been
Whatever
winning.
makes you
I mean, they're one of the most profitable athletic departments in the NCAA. All right. That shouldn't have nothing to do with NIL money.
We did not outbid
But yeah.
Alabama for a player. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Stop the
No,
nonsense.
Yeah.
If it was
I agree.
Texas A&M, I could believe you because they do have money to blow. We did not outbid Alabama for a player.
Money to
No.
blow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Joy Rice says Hugh Freeze is the best head coach recruiter Auburn has ever had.
I said this and
I
got
said it
Lit-
too. I
we
agree with
literally
you.
said this weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agreed with you.
I was just like, yo, like he is already the best recruiter Auburn has had.
I mean, just what he's done off the portal has been impressive.
I'm telling you, man, he's the hardest working, that's for sure. So if the results match on the field, match the results off the field, it's going to be amazing. All this hard work, man. Like, listen, it should give him some leeway on the field this fall. I think Auburn has a chance. Let him go out there and win 8 this year. You win 8, you definitely beat somebody they already expected you to lose to. And you probably got the season off to a really good start, i.e. 3-1 or 4-0. Go out there and beat Jimbo and Evel Knievel. Right? And then keep the momentum going and just get one more. Nobody expect. You almost got LSU last year. Get them this year. Those guys are, if you haven't seen Far Side of the War Rapport, those guys are excited for this game.
Yeah. If
Hugh Freeze builds enough momentum going into this, it's going to be something super amazing for them in the fall. But you have such an opportunity to build so much momentum in year one without setting expectations for year 2, because that's one thing that I fear. I call it like Gusitis or Gus syndrome, right? I would sacrifice an amazing year 1 for sustained increasing success. But don't go out and give me an SEC championship in year 1 and then a 7-win season in year 2.
All right.
I don't want it. Throw it back. We've seen teams do this, right? It's hard to do. Arkansas won 9 games. Arkansas was on the rise. Next year, what happened? Reality. Sustained success is hard.
For sure.
So, you've got to build it in recruiting. It takes some time, but I do want to see them win some games that they're not supposed to win this year. They may lose one that they're supposed to win as well too.
It could start in week 4. It can start in week 4 against A&M on the road.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It happens, but they can get there. But I'll say it again. I'd rather see sustained success in lieu of an amazing year 1, as long as the trajectory is up. Then the up and down and up and down and up and down, man, that's exhausting. That's emotionally exhausting.
For sure.
How excited were we after 2013? Caesar, we talk about this all the time. We went out to that game. And
you talk about it. You talk about it all the time. I've been trying to forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
for years.
We don't remember the past. We're doomed to repeat it. The game going into the third quarter of the national title game, it was like, man, Gus is building a monster, and then he gussed it up.
Yeah,
and then every year after that, it was until 2017. They were like, oh, this is what we hired this guy. Nope. Hugh Freeze has just got to do this.
Steady.
And it's okay to do this for a little bit. And then do this. We don't want to be back down here. It just doesn't work. They can't. Alabama and Georgia are doing that. Their worst seasons are 2-loss seasons.
Right.
They're worst. That's where Hugh Freeze has to get Auburn to if he wants to have his name etched in the Mount Rushmore of Auburn coaches. Let's go, man. Didn't somebody ask us on the live like something about like if he's going to be here for the next 8 years? You guys remember this?
Yeah, I think I remember someone asking.
Yeah, and I was like, 8 years. He's doing real great if he's here for 8 years. So, because every coach they've tried to get out after 4. At the end of year 4, think about it, going back to Tuberville. At the end of year 4, there's been ousting attempts. Some didn't make it to 4.
But he's got to have a year that really is showing that hey, he's got the program heading in the right direction.
They wanted Gus out going into 2017. Make no mistakes, they wanted him out. And then he did what he did, and they couldn't get him out. Same way with Tuberville in 2003. They wanted him out, and then 2004 happened in Jetgate.
Yeah.
Right? And
Chisholm was going in year 4, I think.
Year 4 or year 3?
Year 4. Year
that's right.
three was a year after Cam. He went 8-5, and then they fired him the next year.
Yeah, I think this is why Hugh Freeze keeps saying that by year 3 we're not in the top 7 recruiting. We're all going to be looking for jobs. He understands what the general timeline is at for success.
Yeah,
3 years to show you're headed the right direction. And if there's not enough there in year 4, they're going to be making some serious evaluations about whether to continue with you or move on. That's why they paid him what they paid him. He's a middle of the pack, paid SEC coach in a contract that they can definitely get out of if it's not going well. So I'd like to see him here for a long while.
Yeah, I think he got. Again, he hasn't coached a game, but I like what I've seen so far since he's been here. It's been one of the most exciting, one of the more exciting off seasons we've seen in a long time at Auburn, and he's yet to coach a game. So I'm excited about when fall camp starts in another week or so, and we actually begin to see them put together this team and what they will look like, and what I expect to be an improvement of last year. Good talks, gentlemen. Thank y'all for joining us. Ike, tell the people how they can get a green name if you don't have one.
There's 2 ways that it can happen. If you want the sustained green name, then you got to pay for it yourself. $5.99 gets you there to patron level. That gets you to access to all the perks. $3.99 supporter level. We appreciate everybody who continues to support us in that way. If you've been gifted a membership, then thank those people again. Thank you to Drake for that 50 memberships. Chris Causey with the membership gifting. Who am I missing here? Ben Bloodworth did the membership gifting earlier. Wesley Hilson with the membership gifting earlier. And Auburn Dad, all gifting memberships today. We appreciate all of you for continuing to support in that way. If you got a gifted membership, that first month is free, but the next one, the bill is on you. If you didn't get an opportunity to win something today, you can go, hey, listen, man, if you got a free membership, then go purchase something from the store, man. Like, give a little something in that way. That'll be a good way to support us. So, purchase something from the War Rapport shop, head to thewarreport.com to be able to do that. Or you can support the people who support us, like Harmon Mechanical. If you're in the Auburn area, go hit them up at harmonmechanical.com. 334-219-0717. Harmon Mechanical is there when you need air. Once again, HelloFresh is available to you at hellofresh.com/rapport50. Use code rapport50 for 50% off of your purchase and free shipping on that first order. If you want to be able to re-listen in audio format or get some audio-only content, hit up the Pod Network. The War Rapport Pod Network is here with the College Loop Uptempo Podcast and the Auburn Express, all powered by the War Rapport. You can go over there and get you some great Auburn content. Yeah.
And thanks again to you guys for hanging out with us and celebrating what has been a really good evening for the Auburn family. Do us a favor and share this content on social media. Smash that like button. Subscribe to those of you who are new to the channel. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, even Facebook at The War Rapport. We're also on TikTok at TW Rapport. That's it for now, guys, but we will definitely catch you on Friday with another morning drop. Until then, enjoy the rest of your evening. And as always,
hold on, wait. I forgot to say this. We got 2 building reports dropping tomorrow. So we've got the building rapport with Avery Jones, the transfer center and then we have the building rapport with Corey Williams. Both of those are coming out tomorrow. So you guys be next to your YouTubes to see those. That's it. Sorry. Forgot about that.
So we'll see you tomorrow with our building rapport series. And then we'll pick that back up with the morning drop on Friday. But enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy this win, guys. Enjoy this recruit. As Mike G says, get crunked up for those of you who choose to take him up on that. And War Eagle.
That's got a trend on Twitter. I already know.